Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with my main deck in Clash Royale that has been dominating the leaderboards. Currently, the number 12 player and multiple people in the top 50 in the world are only using this deck. They've replaced Electro Spirit and Mighty Miner from the previous version with the Golden Knight. Because you're constantly swarming your opponents everywhere with Rail Hogs, Rail Recruits, and Flying Machines, you'll get a ton of opportunities where your opponent drops a big card or something they shouldn't, which will allow the Golden Knight to leap onto their stuff and lock right on the tower. The other adjustment was swapping Fireball out for arrows. If you play against princesses or dark goblins or firecrackers that are really annoying for this deck, you can snipe them down and make your opponent frown. If you don't have Golden Knight, you can use Electric Spear instead, and you can swap out Goblin Cage for Spear Goblin Hut. All the top players are using this new version of my main deck, so let's go test it out for ourselves and assert dominance. Lots of love to everyone that's supporting the channel with creator code SirTag. To jump into the game, we're going to rush through with a Golden Knight. The guy had Mega Knight in his Mastery banner, so let's see if he's actually playing the card. The thing about mid-ladder is you never know what people are going to be playing. So, oh wow, he just showed that he's got Mega Knight. He is a wise individual, just wanting us to not wonder any longer. He's like, Jake, I know the suspicion is killing you, so let me kill you with the Mega Knight instead. And fortunately for us, we did not wind up dead with a Mega Knight mini P.E.K.K.A spammed at the river. Wow, he's got an Ice Golem in the deck too. What is this? I think my brain cells are deteriorating before your very eyes, but it's okay because we know he's not going to be back to Mega Knight because our card cycle is quicker than his, so he's not going to be able to keep up with this. And we can easily arrows on top of the Goblin Gang. Let's go. Great start for us. The good thing about this deck is you can split your Royal Hogs if your opponent's got a Mega Knight deck, and you can also split your Royal Recruits. So that's what our game plan is for the majority of this game. I'm going to be cycling my Fly Machine opposed to cycling my Zappies on air defense and cleanup duty, because the Zappies are going to be a good way of pulling Elite Barbarians, mini P.E.K.K.A s, and a lot of annoying bridge spam at the river. So save your Zappies for big pushes, and save your Zappies. You usually want to use your aggressive Fly Machine because it's going to be harder for your opponent to counter as well efficiently. So what are we going to do here? We're going to have Elixir Collector, and I don't have a big spell. That's also a big benefit of running Fireball in this deck, that you'll always end up having an answer to Elixir Collectors and 3 Musketeers and wacky weird decks that your opponent might come up with. So that's a little bit of a negative of our version right now, but it's okay. You can run Fireball instead of arrows if you want. So this guy is going to lose his mini P.E.K.K.A, and he's also going to end up losing his Baby Dragon. And I'm going to lose my mind if I see another card that I don't understand right now. Oh my gosh. I got to go Golden Knight so then the Baby Dragon locks onto that. Unfortunately, I think the mini P.E.K.K.A is going to get a swipe on top of my Golden Boy. Wait, what do we do? Do we go and split our Royal Hogs and split one of them in the right-hand side with our Golden Boy? I think that's going to be our best bet. Oh, wait, they went towards the Elixir Collector instead. Wait, oh my gosh, the Golden Knight's getting tanked for. It's locking onto the tower. What the heck is happening? Why is he going for an Elixir Collector? That Golden Knight just did like 2,000 damage to his tower and he didn't care. This guy is the definition of a wild child. Oh my gosh. Wait, the best thing is the Rail Recruits are going to tank for the mini P.E.K.K.A. And then the mini P.E.K.K.A isn't able to lock onto the Goblin Cage Brawler, which was tanking for the splash damage of the Mega Knight. So that was paired out perfectly for us. Also, with the Mega Knight out of cycle, we can go for Royal Hogs, and we know that he also doesn't have Goblin Gang. Wait, how'd you get back to that? Dude, you're just pulling out hat tricks that I didn't understand. Okay, so weirdest deck ever, probably 3 Musketeers, because he did show it in his Mastery banner as well. Yep, he's got it. So I'm going to go in for likely an aggressive arrows here, and then maybe get like 1 Royal Hog hit and just win. Is that the method to success? I think that's the secret to success. Risk it for the biscuit. We don't do anything but wild games out here sometimes. And that was unfortunately horrible. I really wanted to win with that. It's okay. The good thing about playing against 3 Musketeer decks is usually they're not going to end up having Rocket. And I wouldn't put anything past this guy. There's a chance he's got Rocket in the deck, but I don't think so. The Mega Knight isn't going to be able to do a disastrous amount of damage, and we're going to keep up the pressure with our Rail Hogs, so he has to focus on defense instead of applying more aggression on the tower that he wants, and we walk away with a win. The great thing about this deck is you do have arrows to easily eliminate bait cards like the Goblin Gang that you guys saw, so you can find your way through with more Royal Hogs than you would typically with the Fireball version of the deck. So that's why I had so much confidence in my piggies there, and even though they let me down, my deck definitely didn't. That was a wacky and wild ride, and it doesn't even stop there. Looking at our rank, we're 9999. That is a ton of 9s. And hopefully that means some pretty good luck for us for the rest of the games today. Let's keep it up. This guy is a unicorn. Yo, I felt like the last person we played against with Mega Knight, 3 Musketeers, and Elixir Collector Tornado was the unicorn. Let's see if you're even more extravagant than him. If you one-up him, you will earn a badge of honor. I'm going to go for the Golden Knight in the back just because I want to see what the unicorn has. Oh my gosh, no way. Bro, you could not be the dual horn right now. You could not be the same as the last dude. If we get 2 of you in a row, I don't know what I'm going to do. That mental crisis that I had in the last game was insane. Okay, so we're going to go for Royal Hogs. As you guys saw last time, it was really good with the Golden Knight because it's able to tank. So then the Golden Knight's able to extract more value. And unfortunately for us, I don't know if I'm able to defend this effectively. I need to go for a barbell, but some of the skeletons might shimmy and shake on over to the other side. Oh, thankfully we were able to clean them up, and I think the Goblin Cage Brawler will hold the door. So Goblin Cage is a pretty bad card, but it functions extremely good in this deck. And it gives you counter push, and that's why we use it. Typically other buildings, like, you know, if you use an Inferno Tower or a Bomb Tower, those cards kind of just sit on your side of the map and decay. But the Goblin Cage has his own way of just counter pushing back at the opponent, slapping them, and allowing you to get some more synergy with the rest of the cards that are always on offense. With your Royale Recruits, your Zappies, it'll be aiding them in more situations than you would expect. This guy is gonna be running a deck that I don't understand again. Awesome! We're top 10k in the world, and now we're still playing weird decks. Honestly, you'll be playing weird decks all the way up to top 1000 in the world, and it's never gonna change. This is how ladder is. You never know what your opponent's gonna have. The one thing you do know is that you will know nothing. So I guess I want to go and click the Golden Knight ability so we can dash onto the Wizard, and of course it doesn't kill it. Feels bad, man. So I'm going to go in for a Barbarian Barrel here, and then I need to go in and finish everything off with a Goblin Cage Brawler. Please finish off the bats so they don't lock onto my tower. It's always scary, because if the bats lock onto the tower, even if they're like just a couple shots away from dying, they can rack up 1,000 damage. So it's pretty annoying. Also, he's going to have a lot of splash damage with Wizards, so we're just showing you all the difficult matchups today. Someone with Elixir Collector Mega Knight when we don't have Fireball, and then someone also with Wizard when we don't have Fireball. So I guess if there was one change to the deck, you could just sub out the Barb Barrel or the arrows for Fireball. If you are playing against a lot of Mega Knight players or Elixir Collector decks or Wizard decks, the Fireball helps out a lot. Just want to be 100% transparent with you guys. This is the best deck for top ladder, but if you're playing against a lot of the decks that we're seeing today, I think that Fireball would work out a lot better. So I'm going to go in for our Zappies here just to finish off the bats, and then maybe we can go in for a Barbarian Barrel as well. Notice how the Zappies are on cleanup duty, and hopefully they don't walk into the Giant Skeleton. Jeez, dude, you are just relentless. You just don't give up. You go and give up tower damage, but you don't give up the bridge spam religion. Every single thing, you just drop at the river whenever you get an opportunity. If he's got a Mega Knight, I'm very screwed. So please don't Mega Knight me. Go in for your Skeleton Army so I can arrows it. Please just listen to me for once in your life. I just want you to drop something that we can arrows. If you don't do that, then I'm screwed. Okay, thankfully he waits with the Skeleton Army and lets me do 1,000,000 damage, and we do walk away with a very dominant win. So as you guys can see with this deck, it's fun to play. One thing for sure is don't click your Golden Knight ability instead of cycling other cards when you're finishing off the game. If I click the Golden Knight ability, you could dash onto the tower, but it would slow down my card cycle, and it would give our opponent more time to get back into the game instead of us just cycling arrows to finish it off. Super easy stuff, and I don't even think the guy did much tower damage the entire game. Actually, reviewing the replay, he didn't even touch my tower. My man had a Wizard and a wacky deck, but guess what, dude? You can't stop me. My main deck's defenses are sadly too strong for weird Mega Knight and Wizard decks if you play it well enough. We're going to continue the climb, and now we're 8,800 in the world. What is this guy up to? So apparently he's from a different universe 07 without the E. Wonder what he's going to do. If he decides not to spam me, I can go for a Goblin Cage. It's pretty safe, right? If our opponent goes and bombards us on the other side, we've got our Zappies to stun all of his stuff. And no matter what win condition, they're not going to be able to break through Zappies. Zappies are very fun. Even in the worst situation against Graveyard, you're still going to be fine because you've got multiple of them to target multiple skeletons. Dude, not again. This is horrible right now. I'm looking at this and I'm like, no universe where I play against another person with an Elixir Collector or something that I wish I had Fireball against, and we get that exact deck that we didn't want to play against. 3 Musketeers. So because I don't have any good way of applying pressure into this, it's going to be hard for me to win, because if he goes in for Elixir Collector, every single time that he does that, he's going to get good trades. I go for Zappies, and then I'm going to go Royal Recruits afterward because I don't want the Golden Knight to dash onto all my Royal Recruits. Kind of important to stop that from happening. He's also going to be a dash-happy fellow, having Elite Barbarians, likely probably with Rage, Bandit, and then the Golden Knight as well. So he's going to be dashing through the snow every single time that he can. Oh, man. It's just pure pain when they go for Elixir Collector, and you have to sit there and be like, yes, I will let you get Elixir advantage. It's okay, guys. We're out here being unfiltered with our thoughts about this type of matchup. You don't really want to play into this. Of course, if you consistently play into this, switch it out for Fireball. Again, as I said before, this guy is going to go in for Golden Knight, and I can maybe go in for a Goblin Cage here on defense. He's just going to consistently spam Elixir Collectors, and I have no way of killing that. So I went for a Golden Knight in the back. It would take a while to walk up, and then he could also dash onto my tower. So I don't really want to give him that opportunity. I kind of want to be able to arrows on top of 3 Musketeers and Elixir Collector, because no matter where he drops his 3 Musketeers, he is going to give us an arrows potential, so that's good. I guess I'm just going to arrows on the bandit instead. I think that's slightly better for us right now, because we are able to get some chip damage on the bandit. And then he's going to go for 3 Musketeers. Wait, can I dash on them? I think so. No! Everything is going wrong. The world is falling down. I have to let the Musketeer lock onto my tower because I can't drop the recruits too early, because otherwise my tower isn't able to help out against the other Musketeers on the other side. This has been going really awfully right now. But Royal recruits are some of the most effective cards on defense for their elixir cost, so maybe we're able to dig ourselves out of a huge hole. That's the one good thing about the deck, is how well it functions from an efficiency department and how strong the cards synergistically are with each other. So I'm going to try to go in for the Golden Knight ability, and maybe we can dash. Okay, it just dies before it's able to dash. Feels bad, man. I'm going to have to eat the majority of the damage as well, and then I think we're going to go in for Goblin Cage and eat the Musketeer damage because I wasn't able to do anything else. We're probably going for the Golden Knight, so I'm going to go and click. Okay, the Golden Knight dashed on my tower. I didn't think that would happen. I thought the Goblin Cage was far enough separate, but I guess not. It's okay, though. We get a lot of counter push with Royal Hogs, most likely, and he's not going to have enough elixir for 3 Musketeers. So the important thing against 3 Musketeers is if you guys haven't played matchups like this, you need to eat damage when you know that you can't defend. So if you can't defend, it's important to realize that you can't defend so you don't, like, overexert yourself and spend too much elixir. Because if you spend too much elixir trying to defend everything, then you won't be able to defend anything. That's the only reason I'm still in this game, despite being in a pretty bad predicament. So I'm going to go for zappies here. It should be able to defend against the E-Barbs. It's going to 3 Musketeers again. We can Royal recruits on top of everything. And it actually looks like I'm winning the game right now. Did not expect that. Okay, so we're going to go in for a fly machine in the back on the same side as his golden boy. And then we're going to go for Royal recruits on top of the 2 Musketeers. He wastes a dash, which is huge for us. Maybe we can go for a Barbarian Barrel and then get another Golden Knight in the middle just to stop all of his stuff. If the Golden Knight can dash onto the Musketeer, then we're chilling. We need this Golden Knight to dash onto the Musketeer and pull back his E-Barb. Yo, this is kind of working. We might be able to make this matchup happen. Somehow, some way, we are finding a way. And guys, I just want to present a problem for us. We were in a situation where our homie ended up having 2 Elixir Collectors on the field, and we had no way of damaging down the Elixir Collectors. I can see why top ladder players don't have Fireball in this deck. If there are ways of outplaying these matchups, even though they're difficult, there is still a way to win. Okay, so that might be a very dead fly machine. I don't think I can do anything with that. I'm going to probably click the Golden Knight ability and try to dash onto a tower. So let's go in for a Goblin Cage up high so then he doesn't dash. He's going to be so... Oh! Oh, no! You just did me so dirty! That's disgusting! I dropped a Goblin Cage at the river, and it still dashed onto my tower. What happens right now? How did that even work, man? That just, like, broke every law of physics and every rule that I know in life. Okay, so 28 seconds remaining. I'm going to go Royal Hogs here on the left-hand side. He's probably going to E-Barbs. I might be able to go in for the Golden Knight and just dash onto his tower just like he did me dirty. Maybe we can make it happen. Come on now, Golden Knight. Let's go! Golden Knight's overpowered, and we powered through that defense in the most nonsensical maneuver that Clash Royale has ever seen. The Golden Knight is your golden ticket to win the matchups that you think are impossible. All right, we got a game against Mr. Bender, so we're gonna see what's happening. Hopefully we can bend the odds in our favor and possibly play against a bait deck, right? That would be incredible. The one time that we get to play against a bait deck and we have arrows and barb barrel, they are gonna get devastated. They're not gonna bait, they're gonna hate everything about our deck. Unfortunately, this guy is probably going to have Rocket Cycle with Royal Delivery because we see Dark Prince, Electric Spirit, and a Miner. So, this is not going to be a good matchup, but we activate King Tower. Oh my gosh, I don't know how that happened. My cards had a mind of their own, and they wanted to activate King Tower on their own accord. But yeah, it's the Royal Delivery deck that we were talking about before with Miner. Kind of unfortunate, but maybe the Flying Machine can lock on the tower. Nope, but we're going to bait out a Dark Prince. That's good. Dark Prince is out of cycle. Electric Spirit's out of cycle. We can maybe go in for a crazy Golden Boy. It'll be hard for him to counter this right now. I don't think he's got an answer. Maybe he's going to go Goblins, which aren't a good trade. Oh, he's going to Miner? Oh, come on, Golden Knight. Do the thing that you did in the last game, where you dashed onto the tower despite my Golden Knight counter of Goblin Cage being at the river. That Miner wasn't at the river, bro. It was like midway through, and you still didn't dash on the tower. You're just lazy. You're chilling. You're munching on Doritos, laying on your couch and being lazy. You got to give me that value, Golden Boy. That's why you're in the deck. All right, so we're going to go in for Zappies. I'm going to split one of them in the left-hand side because he could rocket the right on the 2 sides. So I just want to make sure that he never has that ability to rocket everything at once. This is also a tough matchup for him from the department of, realizing that we can always go for Royal Recruits at the river, and it's hard for him to counter everything if the Zappies stun the Dark Prince. That's kind of what I want to have happen. I'm going to go for Golden Knight at the river when his Dark Prince is out of cycle, and we're going to try to get an absurd amount of value. I think I could have played that a lot better, to be honest. I think that would have been a lot better for me if I had Just played slightly better. Also, the Dark Prince is probably going to charge on my tower, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think I could have went for the Golden Knight on the left-hand side, and it would have dashed on the miner and hit the tower on the left-hand side, and then that would have been overall a better decision for me. So you live and you learn. You always play better, and you always recognize opportunities that were missed. And then if you don't recognize that while you're playing, you can recognize that in replays. Guy's going to go for another Dark Prince, and it's not so scary for me because we can just split our zappies. Again, we're switching sides, though, this time. He might pre-rocket the Golden Knight, so I'm not going to drop it. Sometimes people will do that if they're feeling fancy, but I guess this guy's not a fancy sir. I'm going to go for Royal Recruits right now, and he's going to go for a Dark Prince. Okay. What do we do? Do we go for Royal Hogs and split them? I think that's going to be our best bet. It's going to be hard for him to hit everything with Royal Delivery after he already used it. He's going to have to cycle a lot to get back to one. And then we can go in for the Golden Knight ability, and we should be able to dash on the Dark Princes, hand hit the tower and the Inferno Tower. Yeah. Golden Knight doing golden things. That's exactly what we expect. And even if he gets an Electro Spirit down and he resets the Fly Machine, it's still a really good spot for us to be in. Just go for your zappies in the back, build up a big push. Don't relinquish too much of your elixir advantage by going for Royal Recruits, because if you rocket the Royal Recruits, it really takes a lot out of you. You know, the shields are pretty impactful for you. You want to make sure that they aren't able to rocket that. If they rocket one zappy, it doesn't matter to me in the slightest. He's going to have to go for goblins, so we're going to make a prediction and drop our Golden Knight here, and he's not going to be able to have a counter to it. Just going to dash on all the goblins and then hit the tower afterwards, so that's sublime. So as you guys can see, a lot of other control decks with bait elements, it doesn't even have to be a bait deck straight up. It can just be something with goblins, and that's more than enough to give you Golden Knight value every single time. When his Dark Prince was out of cycle, it was our signal to punish him, and we took the tower in seconds. Even extremely defensive decks with Rocket Cycle, Rail Delivery, and Inferno Tower still can't stop your spam. When the recruits go in for the win, this deck is insanely difficult to defend. Hey, another player with a Mega Knight banner. Okay, guys, you already know the deal. I want a bait deck, and I don't want to see Mr. Mega Knight. It's okay to play against Mega Knight, as you guys saw in the very first game of the day, but it's a little bit more tricky than playing against Log Bait, where you have, you know, double small spells and you get a free matchup. This guy is going to go in for, I guess, pretty aggressive play of going for a Skeleton Barrel, but a good play, because if I don't have the right card cycle, you can get a lot of damage. You'll probably Mega Knight on here. I think it's going to be Mega Knight bait, so we started with the Mega Knight. We're going to end with the Mega Knight as well. He's probably going to Mega Knight directly on that, and he's going to eat a lot of damage from the Rail Recruits on the right-hand side, but at the same time, this Mega Knight push is looking menacing. So I'm going to go for Goblin Cage really low, so then the Mega Knight's going to go jump onto that. Oh my gosh, wait. My Bar Barrel here, I can snipe the Magic Archer, right? And then I can go for Zappies afterwards, so you can zoom with your Bandit, but you're going to zoom right into the Zappies, and you're not going to be able to get as much damage. Very good stuff for us. The one thing that I dislike is the Magic Archer is going to do chip damage to my tower. Much like a Fly Machine, it will get a ton of value if left alone, because it always targets faster than the tower. Oh, come on, man. You're making me arrows right now on defense. That's a bad trade, because I'm taking the Skeleton Barrel death damage every time. Every time it connects to the tower, it deals some damage, so I prefer for that not to happen. He's going to go in for a Miner on defense for a +1 trade against our Golden Knight as well. He's not giving me many opportunities to set up a huge push, but when I get that opportunity, you guys already know the deal. We do not want to be dropping all of our Rail Hogs in one side against the Mega Knight player, because that's just horrible. So we're always going to split it up and try to do a lot of damage on the healthy tower as well, so we can have that function of, you know, switching and picking whatever side we want. Because if we just feel too dedicated to one side, that's the way we lose. So I can go for a Fly Machine on top of this. Ooh, wait, he was trying to make a prediction with that Inferno Dragon on the Fly Machine. I'm so thankful. I was a little bit apprehensive about dropping that. That's incredible. Also, not a Mega Knight bait deck that I've played against before. He's got Magic Archer, Electro Wizard, and cards that I can't kill with my arrows and Bar Barrel. What is happening right now? Oh my gosh, this never happens. It's like trolling me. It's like, Jake, if only you had Fireball. If only you had Fireball, you would destroy us. But that's not what's happening. So I'm just going to go in for Rail Hogs on one side simply because I need to right now. I need to be able to get some extra damage. I don't think he had that much elixir, so I felt comfortable doing it. Also, looking at the situation, Homie is likely just going to spend all of his elixir, and I can kill everything with the Bar Barrel, go in for our Zappies here to finish off the rest of his spam, and then get a Golden Knight down so the Mega Knight doesn't even jump on anything that matters. Yeah, Golden Knight, you don't matter to me. How does that make you feel? So we got the real deal here. We can go in for Rail Hogs whenever I want to. You guys know the deal. He's going to go and spam all this stuff, and we'll get him out of cycle. Then we'll Rail Hogs, and I think I win the game. So this is going to kind of be a repeat of the first game, but it will work out better this time, guys, I believe. This time, I think we can finish off the game with the Rail Hogs for the first time in our lives. We'll go in for the Bar Barrel here. I think the Rail Hogs will do enough damage. Let's go. Come on. Redemption arc. Let's go. I believed in them the first time they failed me. The second time, they picked up the slack and put our opponent out of misery. If you run Royal Hogs as your main deck, Mega Knight might be a pain, but you can always outplay it. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an incredible rest of your day.